Grand Rising, Elizabeth and Elizabeth Rose. This is what is this? June. My goodness. Today is June the 27th of 2025. I am Queen Aduni, your host, and my co-host will be on soon as possible, Lolly Mariah. So I just want to welcome everybody to Friday, Passion and Purpose Day. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to read a few of the manifestation cards from The Secret, Rhonda Byrne. Let me see. We're going to pull this one right here. Happiness attracts everything you want. The shortcut to anything you want in your life is to be and feel happy now. It's the fastest way to bring money and anything else you want. Those feelings of happiness will radiate out and attract back to you all things that bring you happiness, which will not only include an abundance of money, but everything else you want. The clue, the trick, the key is to be happy. Just be happy. Feel happy. So happiness attracts everything you want. Don't worry. Be happy. Y'all got that message, eh? Don't worry, be happy. Okay, another one says focus on the solution. When you resist a situation that has manifested, you add more energy and more power to it. The event or circumstance can only get bigger because that is the law of attraction. Oh, sorry, law of the universe. To shrink an unwanted situation, put your energy and power into thoughts of what you want. So don't focus on what you don't want. When you ask people, so what do you like? Well, I don't like this, and I don't like this, and I don't like this. So we have to concentrate on what we do have. One more. Everything is an inside job. Isn't it great to know that you cannot control your world from the outside? To change your world, to change your whole life, all you have to do is manage your thoughts and feelings on the inside of you. And then everything will change. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. No one and nothing stays the same. Na, 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 na. The young become the old. Grand Rising, Sharonda. Grand Rising, Lolly Lolly. So we had three readings for today.
Grand Rising. I am hopping on, about to hop right back off because I have to drop some people off and do some stuff. I
Uh-huh.
wanted to make sure I hopped in and said Grand Rising. And if I can hop back on in like 30 minutes, I will. I'm not sure.
Oh, BKB.
Okay. I'll see y'all soon.
Okay, Lyft. Uber. All right. I do have a guest and hold on. Yeah, he's probably dropping the baby off to school. But yeah, Grand Rising, Evelyn, how are you? I'm fine. Thanks for
Grand
asking.
rising, everyone. I'm I'm eating, so I don't want to be on camera eating. Yeah, I woke up kind of feeling good, and then I got up and I just talked to myself that you are fine, and spirit is working it out.
Mm-hmm. He can work it out. He can work it out. Life is
Got a
very
song for every
short.
feeling,
And
every emotion, everything.
yes, 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 yes. I do.
Well, we pray to Jehovah Rapha, the God of healing, that you are healed 100%. And I talked to Keisha last night, and she said she has some rebounder, and she said if she don't be feeling good, she get on there, whatever that she was feeling, she don't feel it. And they,
Rebounder.
yeah, I think that's when they shake you, but they supposed to help you lose weight and tighten tone.
Hmm. It's
Oh,
But
those shaking machines.
yeah,
okay, okay.
Yeah, I know she said she liked that. It looks like fun. I know that probably would, yeah, vibrating yourself like that. Yeah.
but you've been drinking your water and eating and all that, eating
Yeah,
good.
yeah. When it's really hot,
Yeah,
it's difficult for me to eat, but I will drink
yeah,
the liquids.
I
And
understand.
I made I made an avocado salad yesterday, avocado and tomatoes,
Well,
and
interesting.
that's what I ate. Plus some other junk, and I do need some other junk. And I bought some Oreos. I was like, oh girl, I've been eating Oreos since you were like less than 10 years old. Because I found out what the filling was, and I said, I think I need that. And I was just thinking, there's a lot of things that I just never incorporated into my diet because my dad was big on, what is that, margarine? And I was like, yuck, and just never ate it.
Mm-mm. Well, my son is our guest this afternoon. He's still dropping the children off. Um,
Okay.
this morning, shall I say. And we're going to talk about juggling. As a dad, we know moms juggle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when the father takes on doing what they're supposed to do, then they get to experience those times when you have to get up early and you have to go to work and you have to stay up late and you have to tend to the kids and you have to go to their events and all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to talk about that. And if you are the CEO of your business, it ain't like you can just clock in and clock out. Just like
Yeah.
parenting, your business is your baby, and you have to and you get to be there all at all times. Yeah. While we're waiting, I want to uh, just kind of talk about, let me see here. Uh, 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 uh. The Jazzy event that we are sponsoring. We are sponsoring it because I'm involved. And it's also, can y'all see this?
Yeah,
Can,
it's not full, but yeah.
okay, I didn't know if, uh. So again, we will be, go up. Why is that way down there? Okay, there we go. Okay, so Jazzy Arts Sundays with Queen Aduni, hosted by the Grand Rising Elizabeth Show on the second and fourth Sunday of July, August, and September from 2 to 5 p.m. It'll be outside, weather permitting, and then, bring their chairs and all that kind of stuff. And otherwise, it'll be on the inside of Everett's, which is going to limit our vendors if we're on the inside. And sometimes, most of the time, we hopefully we'll know that it's supposed to rain that day and
Hmm.
not outside. Otherwise, I probably need to limit for the just in case, you know. Um, but I'll be putting some things out there. I'm going to check with the vendors that I know, like you guys first, so that I know, the priority and other vendors that um that we know and would like to participate. Because if I can get most of my vendors that are going to be there, I'll be there every week. Then we that would be their spot. They have a spot festivities. Yeah. So I'm getting a good response from it. People are liking that the whole idea of just being able to come out and hang out and hear some good music. And I guarantee the good music. And I will be performing my shows that I do for the senior citizens. Um, maybe, yeah, basically that. And then others that are coming in, um, and then very improv, you know.
Will there be tents?
I have two tents.
Okay. And you'll be under one, or will you're gonna be out in the sun, are you?
Yeah, probably under one of them.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
then the other, you don't have a tent, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so we'll put the art over there under one of them. Because if it's so hot, some of that stuff might melt. Some of the pencils, not the pencils, but Anyway, so that's going on. And what are some of the thoughts that you guys have about stop sharing this? Things that we can do that you'd like for us to do.
Oh, I haven't had any
No
thoughts
brainstorming.
except I haven't had any thoughts. Sorry, Queen.
Uh-huh. I hear you because there's a lot out there happening. I think that if we just
Yeah.
concentrate on that, every other Sunday, us get because it's us coming together. It's not mandatory. It's we want you to come and be part and pass out information about what you're doing as an Elizabeth and promote your shows. Um, and um, and then always have the opportunity to say something because I hold the mic. So they can always get up and say something about what you do and about your show. I'll probably call you up anyway. And yeah, yeah. So the next thing that we have to do as an organization, now that we are legal, we need to get a bank account so that we can put our money in that particular account and keep up with that.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm working on now, as a matter of fact, I have an interview with a young lady tonight at 6 to talk about assisting us as far as clerical work, yeah, the internet, putting us on the internet and all of that. She's young and artistic. So anyway, I'm going to have a talk with her. I'm going to write down everything that we want done that I can see. And yeah, you do that. Anyone else? Uh-oh.
Well, I guess as far as what's going on that I know of this weekend, uh, Reverend Nicole is having her opening of her it's called Ethereal Rain. Let me get my phone. Where's my phone? She went to school to be she's a reverend and she's with Transforming Love Community.
Okay.
And she's been on the show. So she's been busy. I guess it's a spot. I know it's a spot. She says they do tattoos, and she also do what do you call it? Esthetician? Is that skin?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay, nice. I got some kind of invitation for, I don't know if it's something like that or it sounded familiar when you brought it up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Rising, Calvin.
Grand Rising.
Yeah.
Good to see everybody. All is well.
All is well. When I
Yeah.
see that picture, I'm always thinking that, no one, I think about my son and his son. And
Okay.
then I'm always ready to see a son, somebody with you
Okay. Yeah.
when the camera comes on. Well,
Okay.
thanks for joining.
It's my pleasure, I can assure you.
I want to say that I am in the back of my mind. It's not real loud on me yet, but to putting together a Elizabeth
Okay.
show
Okay.
with the brothers.
All right. All right. Well, you have some dynamic individuals on here across the board, both the males and females. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
know. I know it has been amazing. They always mourn the line right when my show was going on, right?
Okay.
I don't know
Send them an email, a
if
memo.
y'all hear it. Yeah, but yeah, and I'm thinking not, of course, not in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so an evening, and of course I'm gonna come to you.
Yes. I look forward to it.
Yeah, I've talked to three
Uh-huh.
so far, and finding that date and that the day and the time.
Yes. Well, it gives balance. Gives
Yes,
balance. Mm-hmm.
the day and the time. Um, yeah, really. Just like I
Yeah.
said, it's back there, but it's not loud yet. But I'm just seeking God. When we did this, I did not know. I had no idea what was going to happen. Like 3 years later, we still, you know, and we've gone through several people have come and blessed us. And then when it was their season was up, that's all I can say. When their season was up, it was time for someone else to step in and be a leader. And God always provided. And when it was me, Sheila putting stuff together, it would always end up changing. So, so I know that it has to be Queen Aduni tapped in
Yes.
to the great knowing, all seeing spirit to pull the right people together. So
Well,
yeah.
we're creating a pathway for ourselves instead of somebody else defining it. Because we get on these networks and traditional modes, they want to be the puppeteer, whether we realize it or not. They give you accolades and monies and all that, but the minute you say something that they don't like, you're out of here. You know,
Right.
Mm-hmm. All we're doing is speaking the truth. Well, like you say, the word is designed to restore hope to the hopeless and free the captive. We're just letting people know what's inside of them by nature, not somebody else's definition, but how, like you said, the Creator defines us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So as far as my president is concerned, they the whole continent of Africa has come together and said, that's it. I was like, that just happened. They're finally seeing it. Whoa. Because if you see something working somewhere and you're so stubborn that you want to keep doing the same old thing, and like you said, Calvin, expecting a different result, but you're doing the same doggone thing, then the people, and this is what I am really recognizing about the power of the people, even here in the United States.
Same thing.
The power of the people are rising up and saying, stop, no more. And in our home, Africa, they are really saying that the whole continent, and if the elders don't stop, if they don't get out the way, they will get run over, because these young people are saying, I'm not going to live like you guys. I'm not.
That's right.
Not living like that anymore. And we got work to do.
But
They
that's what's
come
happening.
knowing that they got some work to do.
There's an awakening that is occurring, and everything to traditional modalities, they're not working. It doesn't, whether it's economics, politics, religion, medicine, people need more viable alternatives, you know?
Yeah. And it used to be where.
What happened?
And Richard is calling me, trying to fucking stir me up about this whole me not.
Okay, you guys are on. Evelyn, you're on.
Are you kidding me?
We hear everything, Evelyn.
So I said I had
Yeah.
OBKB. But what was I saying?
Well, you're saying that it's time, the change is here. Whether you realize the change, really, it's just that we are, the Bible calls it perilous times. They call it critical mass. We just need something different. They call it a paradigm shift, you know? And so there's a zeitgeist. They use all these words, but it makes sense. The change is needed because we are suffering needlessly. And the mindset that's governing this planet is really, let's see what, prince and principalities and high places. We're fighting against that. But look at it, it's because we are really in a very destructive mode, you know, because the mindset, the energy is not consistent with nature. So now people are realizing that you can't change the system, you have to change. So whether that's Africa, other parts, the change is occurring here in America.
It is all everywhere.
So we can't. The change that's needed is just time for something different, because the pandemic showed us, okay, we need something different. The whole world was brought to a halt, and people are looking at themselves, what have we done or what we're not doing? And now you're gonna go back to business as usual after the pandemic. That's like in the Bible talking about the Egyptians and the plagues that came upon them, and they went back to the same thing over and over. And then the more they got away from God, the more he was determined to make it, the plagues got more intense and intense to the point where, you know, Pharaoh had to concede reluctantly, you know? And that's where we are now. We have to have a different perspective on how to live, because what we're doing is not working. There's no mystery, it's God.
Guess what? That's it.
Yeah.
Everything must change. And when Mother Nature changes, which she is evolving.
Yes.
And She ain't mad and all that kind of shit. She's just going through, just as a woman goes through the changes of her body. The that mother nature is going to do the same, and has no respect of person.
That's right.
If the earth open up, if you're standing in there, you will fall in.
That's right.
Whether you're a good person or bad person,
it doesn't matter.
Mother Nature it goes through its evolution. She goes through it. And what she was doing when there were dinosaurs is different than what she's doing now, but still she has to clean herself.
That's right.
She has to clean. And then whatever animals or beings that are on the earth at that time, the whatever they did to help
the process,
destroy or build up, it's
well, there's a realignment, a reconciliation that has to occur.
It has to.
The shift, the Bible talks about the shift that's happened, or the lion laying down with the lamb. There's a balance that's needed. We're out of alignment with the will of God, and it talks about a reconciliation. We have to remove anything that's impeding the process. It's going to fall by the wayside, because really we are organic by nature, and the earth is going through a realignment of shift. The people must go through a realignment of shift as well.
Right. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm always thanking God that I'm alive to witness this.
That's right.
You know, witnessing Barack go through, becoming
that alone.
It reminds me of the story of Mary and Elizabeth, and as it goes through the rest of the points, I have to pull that out sometimes. So the 20 principles of the lessons from the conception is where this whole thing comes from. The whole Elizabeth is based on the lessons from the conception.
Okay.
From Dr. Miles Monroe. Did you know of him?
Miles Monroe. I saw him on YouTube. He got killed in a plane crash, right?
Yes.
A great thinker.
Oh my God.
A great thinker.
Oh my
great
God.
Thinker.
Dr. Monroe, Dad Monroe he's one of those people that when he comes to town, you want to just be close to him. You want to hang out afterwards,
Yes.
Because he's always full of wisdom and
ancient wisdom, like.
Oh man, yeah, and you just afterwards, but you have to be in the know who, where's he going,
but at least you have
going out to
access
eat
to him
and stuff, so that you could just hang around and just get some more and more and more. He was never short of words or ideas, and he came to my shop when I opened it and stuff, and it was just a whole story around just meeting him and this CBN is what they call it, the Christian Business Network.
Okay.
And yeah, Dad Monroe, and anyway, a whole just some miracle working things. But Dad, he was one of those that you just want to just hang out, because somebody's going to ask him a question or something's going to come, and you're just like sitting there, like just like a bird, just eating.
Yeah.
Tweet, 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 tweet. Yeah.
But when you're exposed to him, you see the power of Christianity, not so much the religiosity, but the spiritual component of Christianity was making it so profound, because it deals with the mindset. And that's what Christ is, as Eric Butterworth, it's the mindset, it's the mind of God individualized. And even the Bible says, well, let this mind be in us also in Christ Jesus. And all says the man. But we have to understand that it's not so much the religion. We should kind of get separated from just focus on the religion of Christianity, but the spiritual nature, because it's a universal timeless message.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Well, let me see. Let me see. Stacy, what you doing? You still eating? Stacy be getting it in. She be doing 2 and 3
No,
things
I'm
at
I'm
one
actually
time.
laying down. I had to get up and do some things. I haven't measured my body in a while, so I was up measuring my body. Sometimes you do your weight. If your weight don't change, you do your measurements, and my measurements has changed a whole lot.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing.
And that's a good thing, your measurements changing?
Oh
Like
yeah.
like your waist, it's like the waist and the hips.
Yep, my waist went down about 2 inches.
Mm.
My breast went down about 2 inches.
Well, you can give me
My
some of that breast.
my biceps went down about an inch.
Wow.
And the only thing that hasn't really changed is my calf. My calf actually went up an inch,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm fine with.
Mm-hmm.
Do you walk? Do you walk anything? Walk?
No, I don't do much walking. I will eventually once I
Yeah.
get some of this weight off my knees.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, something physical is always good for I won't say weight loss, but when it comes to diet and weight loss, you have to do some kind of exercise and some kind of resistance as well because the you want to convert it to flab, the fab, you know. So you're getting toned
Yeah.
up, and you have to do something because really, when you're losing your weight, that's going to make you feel better. But the exercising, some cardio workout, like just walking, you got to elevate your mood and all of that. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
package deal. It's a package deal.
Yeah, I go to work out
Mm.
at least 2 or 3 times a week, and I work out at
All
home
right.
too sometimes.
Yeah, she'd be honest. She'd be getting it in.
Wow.
Uh,
You're worthy of that and more.
yeah, I have to work out because if I don't move, I can't move.
Well, that's just it. The sedentary lifestyle is not good. Our body is meant to be in motion. You don't have to run, but you can walk, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, I have bilateral osteoarthritis in both of my knees, bone on bone.
Okay, wow.
So I don't do a lot of walking because I still have a lot of weight up
Yeah,
above my knees.
gotcha.
So once I release more weight, I'll be walking more. Once I
Okay,
strengthen my legs and release more weight, I'll be walking more. That's
gotcha.
my goal.
That,
Other than that, I'll just do leg exercises
right.
to tone them up.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Also, for that, they talk about some kind of knee brace or sleeve you can put on there that really helps with the that problem, you know, with the arthritis in the knees too.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was going to go to a durable medical equipment place to see if I could find some knee
Mm.
braces. I had a couple of them, but they disappeared some kind of way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
but
process.
that's my goal.
Mm-hmm.
I found the flyer. Um, yeah, Nicole S. Miller. It's called Ethereal Rain Beauty and Wellness. And they're to the launch of a celebration of beauty beyond skin deep. Ooh, see, this is where I can see it. Oh my goodness.
Hey everyone, Nicole.
Oh, come now. Hey
Everyone, Nicole.
Wait a minute. No. That's not what I want, Nicole. I need to just read it myself. Um. Anyway, it's Sunday from 4 to 7. 15925 West McNichols. I put it in WhatsApp. Um. Yeah, it's a sanctuary where advanced skincare meets soulful transformation.
Nice. Sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah.
Hey everyone.
No, stop. Oh, these devices, I tell you.
Is somebody talking? Somebody was saying, "Hey, everyone." Sounded like Sharonda.
Oh no, that was on my phone.
It was on your phone. Okay.
Yeah. The video, she has a little video. The video was playing, and I wanted to just read the flyer. Yeah, my printer is offline, and I'm calling. It's hard to get in touch with a person at Canon, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'm going to I want to read some things and talk about some things from my book. You know, today was my second 40 days.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so tomorrow I'll start again. I'm really wanting to do a study on angels.
Hey, everybody. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the angelic. I know Star and them are about to start a book. Did Rev talk about some book that you guys are going to do next?
We're going to do probably that book next. I'm not sure. I think we're going to do that one next that you're doing. Yeah, because I'm not sure. I think that's what we're going to do because it's going to be focused on money. But we're definitely going to. The people who have done A Course of Miracles the second time will do something different. But the people who are reading this for the first time have really stepped up in, they really are, into it.
And yeah, well, I know Stars, I think they were supposed to, and she said before going to this, that they're going to do the spiritual laws.
Okay.
So I don't know if she'll do that with y'all as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Or will you go on to the back of the book? Are you doing the back of the book yet?
Not yet.
Well, see,
I'll see what she says. I know she said, there's something powerful back there. So I really,
because Pam and them, they just finished the back of the book.
Yeah.
That's her second time.
Yeah.
Going all the way through.
Right.
But you guys are a different group, so I guess each group has their own thing. All right. So I guess my guest is not going to come. I just wanted to share a few things here. Okay, where should I start? I don't want to read all that. Let me see. When we realize the presence of God within us, that realization is the spiritual experience. It is the kingdom of heaven within you, harmony. And out of this kingdom, this spiritual consciousness flows everything that we could desire in this life. Okay. So a few prosperity secrets. Do not tell anyone, in parentheses, not on the spiritual path, that you are working on prosperity from a spiritual mental approach. If you do, you will break the connection and drain the power building up in and around your new mental equivalent. Secrecy is an absolute essential. So what do you get from that? Don't tell nobody if they're not on the spiritual path about you doing the spiritual work.
It's best to communicate with people who are on the same path. Yes, because they can support you in that. Because somebody that's still working on a lower chakra level is not going to get it.
Right.
Not going to get it.
Right.
They can feel intimidated by your progression because you have to have like-minded people around you for certain things because they feed into your vision, and people that understand your vision, they tend to throw darts at it because their own insecurities that they may project something. You can't do this; it'll never work. but that's them saying how they feel about themselves.
Right. Right.
Good.
Right. And I don't know, like I said last Sunday when I went to the opening of the sanctuary, I was just really grateful for the number of people that I have met in the past 30 years that are now still coming in into my world again, you know, from when I kind of met them maybe on the peripheral and really wasn't on my journey, and now I'm meeting them again, and we're all culminating, the Grand Rising Elizabeth, the Moon Circles, the Saints, just everybody is just, it's great. It's great.
Hey.
Hey, everybody, this is my son, Fame.
All right. Nice to meet you, sir.
Just the one that made
Hello,
it.
everyone.
You made it out.
Right.
I just got the kids off.
So, well, I think everybody knows Fame. If you haven't met him, this is my son. He's 45 now, Fame?
Yeah, no, I might be 46. No, I'm turning 46.
You've
All
turned
right.
it, right.
In September. Yeah, I'm 45.
And I started my business the year before. That's why I always figure out how old he is. And
Wow.
1 year into the business when I actually, yeah. As a result, that's why his name is Fame, Fame, with an exclamation mark behind it, because I was doing a show called Fame, Fashion, Arts in Motion, featuring the Everettes, Fame. And his dad was out of town when I did this production, and I lost money. I owed people money. And so when he came back in town, because he's a musician, um, uh, he um, he was like, so how was everything, and I was like, well, I wasn't crying, but I lost money, I owe people money, and it was one of them, oh, come on, baby, let me embrace you. And then that's when Mr. Fame came through.
All right. All right.
So I call him Fame because he is the uh, Fame with the exclamation mark, because he is the exclamation of my life.
All right.
Yeah. And
a good representation.
Yeah. I'm very proud of him. And we worked together. I was doing hair, and of course he was still in high school and stuff, but he would come down and braid down for me, he and my niece Latoya. And so when we opened the shop, I would give him $50 to braid down, right? So shoot, everybody else called up and called on, they would call him in, Toy and Fame, come in and braid down. And then Fame was going to go to out of service, out of the Air Force, he was going to move back to New York and become a rapper. I didn't know that my son rapped and that he wrote, and excellent writer. Didn't know that, And so when he came back, he wanted to go and do that. And I just explained that, learn how to braid, then that way you have power over your time. And long story short, he did. And there was a time where I was getting ready for my 60th birthday. And I had 8 students online. We were the first to teach online. And we taught the entire curriculum online, right? And I was so caught up in my 60th birthday, and we were moving into the space that we are in now. So just juggling everything. And then Danielle was working with us at that time. She was like, your students are really little pissed off. And like, why? So then I realized that I was not paying attention to them. And that's when Fame, I call it, had come through the back door, because this was not his plan for his career, right? And Spain just stepped in and took over those 8 students and completed that program. They were very, very happy. He's been teaching ever since. And now he shoos me away when I come to correct his students, because he has his own way of teaching, and priorities and how he does it. And he ends up with the same thing that I ended up with in my way. So I want to thank you and
he won't let me teach at all.
So we wanted to honor Father's Day. This is the last day. Well, actually, Monday would be the last day of the month. I don't know if there's going to be a gentleman on the show or not, but this is the last Friday. And Fame, welcome. And wanted to, well, in particular, Fame has 2 sets of children. The one, they're grown. There's 2, male and female. That's Cameron. Cameron is now what age now?
He's 20.
Oh, he's 20 now. And then there's Cinnamon, who is what, 23?
23.
23 years old. Then he had the nerve to start all over again. He has a 4-year-old and a 7. Is she 7 now?
Yeah, 7-year-old.
Yeah. So wanted to talk to you. Fame, put your camera down some. We just getting the top of your head. So just kind of, how is it juggling? He has now taken over the salon totally, the school and the salon. And I had to release that. And when we do the family business expos, one of the subjects is going to be a very intense subject, is turning it over to your children. And how hard, I didn't realize how hard that was to totally release and cut the umbilical cord for your baby. And the fight that he had to go through. I was saying Fame when we were when he was young, we would drive and then we would just talk all the way to where we're going, talk all the way home. And sometimes we get home and we would still be in that conversation. We'd be sitting there, and then pretty soon I said, well, we might as well drive off again. And then we just go riding and talking and stuff. So I know those who have children, you kind of miss those days of when you had the authority and they had to go wherever you said go and talk about what you say. But I miss those times, and as we all get grown and get into our own world. So, Fame, I'd like to just talk about first, thank you for coming at the last minute and making it work. And just whatever you want to say, and about how is it for you to juggle? Women, we're used to it, doing 50 things, but you as a man, you're juggling a lot. So can you kind of share how your life is right now, being a father again?
Yeah, it's definitely easier the second time around. Like, I kind of know what to expect. I know how long things will last. So it definitely makes me more appreciative of the moments and patient with the moments, because I understand the pros and cons of each moment, and I know which ones are going to leave. Those pros and cons are going to leave soon. So, with the baby, yeah, the baby can't talk. The baby can't walk around. You got to carry all these bags with the baby. But it's a time that you can hold the baby, that the baby is real, the nurturing part of it, of, just sitting and looking into your baby eyes and holding your baby and your baby holding on to you, and those precious moments. So uh, I find myself having a lot of more patience with the cons because of how precious the pros are right now to have. And so even with my son being, my daughter being 7 and 4, they have their talking times and they're wild and crazy, but I know that that's going to end soon. And so, it's kind of like, let them be wild, let them be crazy because, they only get to be a kid one time. And my son, last night, he's feeling creative. He takes some, uh, we had some cereal, some raisin, I think raisin bread or whatever it's called, cereal. So he takes it and he's feeling creative. So he wants to stir it around, pour it in water, pour it in the cup. He's making the mess and stuff like that. And my first instinct is no, you're not gonna do it. You're gonna make a mess. And then, I just had to remember like this is his creative time. He's thinking of something, he has some ideal in his head and he wants to act it out. And I know he's not gonna clean it up and he's not gonna, but I'm just way more appreciative of this time because my big kids is just none of that. I gotta fight to see them. I gotta make appointments with them. Um, our interactions are short. It's just for the time that I can have with them and stuff. And so um, these two are the first sets that are with me the majority of the time. With the two moms, we shared time a little bit more. But these, like, they've been living with me the whole time. Where before my first two, they lived with their moms, and then I would come get them and stuff. So just having them in my house, just building what we need to do to get through our days. And when my first kids, remember, I was staying with you, mom. So I'm raising them in my mother's house. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm raising them in my house, something that I pay for, and I have a lot of guidance on what's happening. And I'm not with the me and the mother have split and we stay in separate places. But the kids decided they were going with me. And so changed my whole plans and outlook. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be coming up with them. I'll stay with them most of the night, wait till they go to bed, and then I'll go ahead and go home. But they switched it up like, no, we're staying with you and we'll see mommy when we go see mommy. So um like I said, that has been the biggest thing about doing it all over again, just being wiser, just understanding more. I'm not so, in my 20s, it's more about me. But um, in my 40s, I'm kind of more like, so you guys, and what do you want? And I was really like that with my kids. When our time was our time, and I saw my kids a lot. We would, it would. I never was like a weekend warrior dad, or a holiday dad. I've always been. I need to see my kids weekly, a few times out the week, or I'm at least picking them up from school every day. Um, and then the holidays just blend right in with it. But the journey is my new outlook helps the journey, just every day the journey be a precious day. Um, my 7-year-old, I kind of um, my 7-year old makes me appreciate my 4-year old because I'm looking at her grow and I'm like, dang, I remember when she was 4. I remember when she was 3. Just seeing how fast it goes. So my son, he just gets spoiled because I'm like, this is my last time. Let me just hold on to these moments. And as he's turning 4 and he's about to He started school. That was like a hard moment because I'm like, he's not my baby no more. Then he's in his pull-ups. He's about to be, able to go to the bathroom on his own, and he's getting, a little bit more because she's on her own now. She goes to the bathroom by herself. She's showering on her own and all this stuff. I still got to go in the shower, wash him up. So those moments are so precious to me, just washing him up because I know, my big kids, I used to love to watch them. But, let me show up in the shower with them. They go crazy. Dad, what the hell are you doing? So my 4 and 7-year-olds, it's like a relive of them because they have the same age split. They're both 3 years apart. So I kind of understand that and helping them play with each other and stuff. So um I tell people being a good parent is very inconvenient. It's very inconvenient. If you want to be a great parent, you're going to be very inconvenienced. But just looking at my big kids and how it paid off for them, and now I know what the results are going to be from doing this. That's where now I can contrast their age as well, as far as being able to say, like, okay, they're going to be loving people. They're going to be appreciative. They're going to live in their moments because my daughter is a 23-year-old. And let me tell you something, Mom. I had a lot of people over for the holiday, and my daughter, she decided that she was going to come, but she didn't show up to, like, at the end of the night. Everybody's gone, and Justin upstairs, a good friend of mine, he's the same age as me. I've had like a whole bunch of friends, so it was male and females here and stuff like that, and so here comes at the end of the night, this young girl comes in. And it's just me, him, and her there. Nick is gone. And so me and her just talking and conversating. And I started looking at, we've been all drinking. So I was looking at him and his eyes is just staring at my daughter. He's just looking at her like, oh my God, and stuff like that. My daughter's very pretty. So he's staring and I'm thinking like, wait, he thinks this is just one of the other girls, and I invited a young girl at the end. So I had to be like, hey, Justin, I didn't never introduce you. This is my daughter, Cinnamon. He's like, ah! He said, no, no, no. He said, thank you. Thank you for telling me that was your daughter. And so, because he was looking at her and I'm looking like, what is he staring at? So I'm like, oh my God, he don't know that's my daughter. So I told him, I was like, look at her. Don't she look just fine? He's like, no, I can't look at her no more. No. He said, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that was your daughter. So he was like, y'all were just talking so casually. I didn't even know that was, it wasn't. And so just, even in my daughter and her, where she's at now in life, and she's a 23-year-old, and, she dresses like a 23-year-old. She's on social media like a 23-year-old. And she's a bartender. She likes to hang out. She has, very, free-spirited ambitions like me and her mom. And so it's nice to not be judgmental of where she's at in life, where she's feeling like, 'cause how we look at young people like they wild, they crazy, and it's so easily how we forget where we were at that time and our mentality and our wiser selves. How dare we dismiss them and their young minds as if we weren't right there with them.
Right.
And so
famous after 10.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're gonna have to go, but thank you for sharing. The oldest son, Cameron, tell us about the revelation that he got.
Well, I was going to go to him. Like, contrast my son. He's he's found God and Jesus and Christianity in his own pathway and has chosen the way that he's um, decided to commit to it in the way that he feels God is requiring to. And that's another way of not being judgmental of how he chooses to find his pathway to God and live his life to God and stuff. And it's been a transition, supporting him in that and not, passing on my beliefs um, to enforce them, but just sharing with him other ways and helping him learn to, even in his pathway, be able to consider and understand that other people have other pathways. And that's been like a real big adjustment for him, not seeing that his is the only way, but seeing that his is his path. And other people's have different paths. And it helps fortify and really appreciate the commitment that he's making and decided to make. So that, in short, and just sharing just all my four kids and where they're at and just being a parent. And I think the biggest thing that I've learned is just to keep my empathy with my kids, and being able to put myself in their shoes, even in where I'm at, it really helps me connect with where all four of them are at, as opposed to just being like, I don't get it. I don't understand. And just letting that be my right to be. And, just being fine with the lack of communication and closeness that, you avoid when you decide to take that stance with, your children. So, and like I said, I've had an always loving mama. I feel like my mom loved me more than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? My dad, my stepdad, no, y'all, you know, she won. She did too much. She went over and beyond. So anything that y'all do, if it's not that, I'm sorry, I can't. And so I wanted to definitely pass that down to my kids so that, they could have that experience. Because as long as you got just one parent, you know, that's all you need. The other ones, you'll have your feelings, but as long as you know you got somebody that you can count on to that, it just makes life a lot more understanding and free.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are about to close. Anyone have any questions or comments want to say to Fame before we X out into the summer to the weekend?
It takes a lot of courage to be a father, and it takes more courage to be a father times two with two separate sets of children. I can relate to that immensely. So really, all you're showing is what was the instilled within you, and you pass it on to your children. Um, and you're a role model for a lot of young guys that run from parenting instead of embracing, because after all, you become a better person because you're a conscientious father.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Awesome.
Good
All right,
job,
my
nephew.
darlings. Go ahead, Star.
No, I just wanted to say good job.
Oh, thank you, Auntie.
All right, give yourself a big hug. Love on yourself. And then love the world. And sprinkle goodness and love and prayer and wisdom and kindness, and that God will turn the heart of the wicked man. He's the only one that can massage that heart, get that heart going right, and know that you are loved. Peace out. I'll be over there at 12. I got a 12 o'clock Fame. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Okay.